Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, February 15th, 2022. The time is 2 p.m. This is our weekly business meeting. We've got a fairly hefty agenda. Attending are Commissioners Duncan, Brooks, and Filios. Amy, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, then, do we have any changes to the agenda?
Yes, number 19 is a duplicate, so that can be removed. And then I would ask that number 31 be postponed until March 1st. We will be having another presentation that morning, and since Commissioner Brooks indicated there wasn't a big rush on that I think that's okay.
Okay, so that gets postponed till after the 1st?
Well, actually, March 1st.
Oh, to March 1st.
Yeah, because the meeting will be that morning, then we can approve it that evening, or that
Okay.
afternoon.
Afternoon. Yeah.
Okay with that?
Sure.
Absolutely. Okay, and 19 you said was removed?
Yeah, it's a duplicate.
Okay, oh, that's right, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, then, so moving on, approving the minutes?
Yes, I move that we approve meeting minutes, items 1 through 4.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Moving on to the consent calendar, please.
I move that we approve the consent calendar, items number 5 through 18.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Payables list, please.
I move that we approve the payables for the week of February 7th through the 11th, 2022, in the amount of $731,443.17. There are no jury panel payments.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
It's okay. Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, motion is carried. Item 21, addendum number 1, Intermax Networks, tower and ground lease with Numax LLC, also doing business as Intermax Networks, a 911 action item. Colin, please.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Colin McRoy, Kootenai County Sheriff's Office 911. This is an addendum to Intermax's current lease at Mason Butte. They wanted to add some additional equipment, one extra radio. So this is legal said an addendum to the current lease would be sufficient, and this is that addendum adding that equipment and increasing their base rent for that equipment.
Okay. And then, Colin, is this typical if we had other businesses similar to Intermax that we would do that for them as well?
Yes, of course. Any that no others have approached us for any of our other sites, but any site we do where we are the maintainer of said site or landowner, we will lease any that to any company or agency that seeks us out.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's not exclusive.
It is not exclusive.
Okay, good enough.
Thank you, Colin.
Motion.
Sure. I move that we approve addendum number 1 with Intermax Network Tower and Ground Lease / Numax LLC DBA Intermax Networks.
Second.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, motion's carried. Item 22, professional services agreement of Cougar Gulch Reconnaissance Survey 2021. It's the development of the comprehensive historic context. And it'll be from Boswell Resource Management Office. Jody?
Yes, as stated, this is a contract between Kootenai County and Sharon Boswell. The project is a reconnaissance survey providing additional historic context to the Cougar Gulch area. The project is funded by a CLG grant in the amount of $7,000, and the required match will be in kind.
Okay. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the professional services agreement for the Cougar Gulch Reconnaissance Survey 2021 and the development of the comprehensive historic context with Boswell.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. And before I go on to item 23, I'm going to ask Commissioner Duncan to introduce the Inch Home School and welcome you to our business meeting.
Yes, they were, they reached out and they wanted to know a little bit more about their local government. So at 1 o'clock today, they came and I spoke to them and they decided to stick around and watch the board in action. So thank you very much for coming.
And welcome again.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, item 23, Site Disturbance Plan Review, and it's a contract review with Welch Comer and Associates for Community Development. Ben.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Ben Tarbutton, Community Development. Before you is we're asking for your consideration to renew a contract we have with Welch Comer and Associates, who facilitates some of our site disturbance permit reviews. Those that are more complicated, of course, with the demand that we've experienced in development. So this is, again, just a request to renew that contract. It's been reviewed by Pat Braden and staff, and it's for your consideration. So,
Okay. Is there any exchange of money?
as far as just compensation for, yes.
Is it any change from last year or?
It's not expected to be, you know, well, it's hard to know with the level of demand that we've had.
Oh, okay, so it's per
Yes, I'm sorry,
contract or per review?
per permit, yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
per permit, okay, fair enough. Any other questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the site disturbance plan review contract renewal with Welch Comer Associates in the Community Development Office.
Second?
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Item 24, termination of ground lease, AAL-2020-650 due to the sale of the hangar to 2208 Aviation LLC. Stephen?
Commissioners, actually 24 and 25 are combined. It's
Oh,
a
okay,
sale-
go right ahead.
Sale and purchase. The sale is from 208 Aviation, then they sold it to GCM Hangar LLC. The new lease rate is $4,320.23, and it's our standard lease.
Okay, any questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the termination of ground lease AAL 2020-650 with 208 Aviation LLC and approve the ground lease AAL 2022-100 and the hangar purchase for GCM Hangar LLC.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion is carried. Item 26, lease addendum A to lease AAL-2016-500 to allow commercial aeronautical use of hangar with Easy Skies Air Service LLC in the airport. Stephen?
Commissioner Stephen Kiergaard for the record. This is an addendum to allow for the commercial operation of a flight school specifically in this hangar. Their lease does not allow it at this time, but they've requested that ability.
Okay. Any questions? Motion?
I move that we
Go
approve.
ahead.
Nope.
Leslie?
He's,
sorry.
it's his turn.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I move that we approve the lease addendum, addendum A to lease AAL 2016-500 to allow commercial aeronautical use of the hangar for Easy Skies Air Services LLC in the airport.
Second?
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion's carried.
Sorry, we're trying to go quick.
Consent to sublease, gosh, this is repeated. Consent to sublease AAL-2016-500 to Hans Dyroy, Action Flying Services, and Easy Skies Air Service. Stephen, is it a transfer?
Commissioner Stephen Kiergaard again. This is actually an individual. The individual that owns a hangar actually owns the aircraft that they use to operate their,
Oh, okay.
their school. So that is why they're looking to move that school in there. And the leases require the board's approval for a sublease. Therefore, it still requires a sublease agreement. And we have our standardized sublease agreement. And this is what's before you to approve that sublease agreement.
Okay. Any questions? Motion.
I move that we approve the consent to sublease AAL 2016-500 to Hands Diroy Action Flying Services and Easy Sky Air Service.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion's carried. Item 28, contract approval with Manitron Aumentum Tech. Speaking for our treasurer's office, our deputy treasurer. Go right ahead, Jill.
Good afternoon, Treasurer Jill Smith for the record. We have, as part of our negotiation with our new payment processing service, they agreed to pay the one-time fees to upgrade our interface between the property tax and assessment software and the public. So it'll be better integrated. Payments will show as pending immediately. And there's no cost to the county for the one-time fees. The ongoing annual support that we pay will increase by about $3,500 a year. James Martin, our IT director, has approved that additional cost and said he will put it in his budget for next year, and he can absorb it. It should be no more than $1,600 this year because it'll be a partial year, and he said he can absorb that in his budget.
Okay. Questions?
Nope.
Motion?
I move that we approve contract with Matron Automatum Tech
Aumentum.
Aumentum and the treasurer's office.
Second.
Bill Brooks.
Should have pronunciation things in there. Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. We can take, I think, items 29 and 30 together. They're basically advisory board appointments. So item 29 is the appointment of Kevin Kirking to North Idaho Fair as an alternate, and it's an amended term to expire on 1/19/2026. And item 30 is an advisory board appointment of Christina Pettit to North Idaho Fair, also as an alternate, amended term to expire on 1/19/2026 also. Motion?
I second your motion.
Okay.
Okay. Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Item 31 is stricken. Item 32, resolution, well, we can do 32 and 33 together. Resolutions 2022-16, 2022-17, to classify and destroy records for the sheriff, respectively. Marcia?
Yes, sir. Marcia Higley, Kootenai County Sheriff's Office. For the record, I am here today on behalf of Under Sheriff Dan Mattis. As you know, he is getting ready to retire, and with that comes the cleaning out of files. We are looking to classify some of his personal, administrative files that were retained between 2005 and 2020. Miscellaneous correspondence, notes on personnel actions, so on and so forth.
Okay. Any questions? Motion.
I move that we approve resolution 2022-16 and 2022-17 for the classification and destruction of records for the sheriff's office.
Second.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Item 34, resolution 2022-18, approval of precinct boundaries pursuant to Idaho Code 34-301. Our elections manager, Asa Gray. Go right ahead, Asa, please.
Thank you, Chairman Philios. Commissioners, Asa Gray for the record. This is the resolution approving the precinct boundaries that we had the presentation for you last week of the map and the data involved. And so this is simply a resolution approving those. It's modeled very similarly to the 2012 resolution last time we did this a decade ago.
Okay, and how many precincts now?
73,
From?
70.
Okay. Any other questions? Motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2022-18, which is the precinct boundaries pursuant to Idaho Code 34301.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion's carried. Thank you, Asa. 35, BOCC Department Budget Meetings Discussion. Leanna, is she here?
Actually, I can
Do you wanna
probably
take
take
it?
this.
Okay.
Sure. So this is going to be our fourth budget season as a board, and I think all 3 years we've done something a little bit different. So here we are again. I would be happy when talking about our department heads that if our liaisons touch base with us, and if there is no change in their budget, that they would not necessarily have to come before the board. But if there is any change in their budget, that they would meet with all three of us, and we can set up, Leanna can set up different times with everybody.
I'm fine.
Okay. Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah. And I would actually probably extend that to the
EOs?
EOs, but I'm imagining that probably the treasurer's office is the only one we're not going to meet with. But that would be a whole savings of 5 minutes for this board. So, yeah, we love you guys. Absolutely. Yeah, because I think Steve, pretty much every time I've been here, he's cut the budget every year. So I appreciate that. So that, I guess that's just my suggestion. It's just direction.
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay?
Okay, we'll do it that way.
Great.
36, board approval for the consideration of an offer for the lot line adjustment for 214 West Foster Avenue. Go ahead, Leslie.
Yeah, so apparently this has been an issue since the 90s. And the house that's located at the north of our lot, we kind of should, I would suggest that we consider a lot line adjustment because our property line seems to go through their backyard and actually part of their structures. So they have made us an offer, and what would happen next is we would just complete the process if this board agreed to accept that money for the lot line adjustment. We could have a motion contingent upon everything else falling into place.
I'm fine with it.
Okay? All right, then.
Do you want to make a motion?
Sure. So I move that we approve the adjustment, but it's contingent upon the lot line agreement and the correction to the deed, and that we can ratify it at a later time when everything is ready to be signed.
Okay, should we also mention the $1,000 offer? Are we accepting that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Man, this took a while, didn't it? But this problem goes back to the 90s?
Yes, the 90s, but
Okay.
now it will be off of our
We solved it.
ongoing sheet. Yes.
Okay. All right, then, item 37, which is our status update. And this is the status of pending items that we've been working on. Let's go right ahead here. And the first item is the impact fee analysis.
That's been put off.
Okay, so we're going to be taking that up March 1st,
Yes.
and it's 3 components?
Well, I want 4.
Yep.
Leslie wants 3, I think.
No, I wanted 4. Yeah,
Okay,
so
then-
the new contract that was, that we took off for signing today is 4. It's the jail, the sheriff, the coroner, and the parks.
Okay.
And it's for 35,000. So instead of 10,000
Right.
each, we're getting a
We're getting it
5,000.
Knocks
35.
off 5,000.
She did.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so the reason why I wanted to postpone it to March 1st, because we're going to have an update on how the system has worked with the fire departments. And we'll be able to talk about what committee that we want on the county portion of our impact fee
Okay.
committee. So,
So for the benefit of everyone, and these numbers are approximate, with Kootenai, EMS, if the impact fees pass, they will get $132 per new residence. If we pass it for the county, I think we're looking at somewhere around, is it 700?
yeah, that's just
That's
a
the round
basic.
figure.
Yeah.
Okay, per
And
per
why
new
don't
residence.
you explain, especially since we've got a class here, what the impact fees are?
So impact fees are charged to help us build the infrastructure, but maybe that's a hard term,
No.
to build the services and the facilities that are necessary for us to be able to accommodate the growing demands that are being made on the county. Okay?
So I can
Go right ahead.
kind of explain that. Yeah, typically it is to the developer. However, I don't know if a developer hasn't passed that fee along to the homeowner. So that's typically how that works.
That's the way it's
And-
done throughout most of the United States.
Yeah, and it is for new developments. It is, and it's to take the pressure off existing taxpayers to develop that. So
Okay, you're welcome. North Lot land sale, we already addressed that.
Yep, that was approved today, so you won't see that on your,
I'm working backwards here. Okay,
You
let's
are,
go to the
that's
next
okay.
page.
Yep.
Facilities expansion, that's this Friday.
it is
Friday?
this Friday, yes. So next week, we'll have something new to say.
So February 18th, okay. PAC Airport Lease, one of your favorite topics.
PAC board meets March 24th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So
Do you expect they'll approve it?
I would assume they will, but we'll see.
Okay,
I don't know what their other options are.
okay, fair enough. Skeet and Gun Club?
They have not responded to me. I know
You have
they,
not, excuse me, folks, go ahead,
I
Liz.
know they
Sure, I will.
did an open records request on the appraisals, but beyond that,
Sure. And once again, I wasn't really expecting an answer too soon because we have all the way until January to iron this out, because their expiration. So, okay, well, thank you. I don't really see a reason to continue to address it every week. I think as soon as they reach out to us, then we can continue those negotiations. So, and I just want to let everybody know, it's not normal for the chairman to leave the meeting, but this was a special occasion. He's expecting an urgent phone call. So just wanted to let you know that. All right, financial snapshot will be March 1st. So we're looking forward to our auditor's presentation that day. And then I will read the ARPA statement into the record. Requests for Kootenai County ARPA funding are now undergoing evaluation. If you have any questions or comments about the American Plan Rescue Act or Kootenai County's evaluation process, please direct them to arpa@kcgov.us email address. March 1st, 2022 is the deadline for submissions. And now we are in our section of our meeting for public comments.
I wanted to comment just as a board member. Did you see how smooth that was where Chris left and she just took over? Leslie is the chairman pro tem. So whenever Chris is not performing his job as chairman, then Leslie steps in.
Yep. So, public comment? Okay, I'm sorry, sir. Can you come up to the microphone, please, and then just let us know your name? And then I think there's a little button on your thing. It's red. Can you push it to make it green?
There we go.
Okay, and Robert Clark, you said?
Yes, my name's Robert Clark.
Welcome.
And my son's with the Inch School. So I was just curious on Article 33, where you were destroying documents from the sheriffs,
Yes.
and they were personnel records from 05 to 2020. How would that affect if somebody wanted to do a information request from the sheriff's department about a particular sheriff deputy?
Sure. Thank you for asking. It's not actually personnel records. What happens in his role as under sheriff, he will have kind of like what we do, you know, an agenda, and he may make his notes and then he'll stick it in a file. So all of his records that he has kept over the years can be classified as long-term, which would be 10 years. There's another 5-year classification, then there's a 2-year, which is considered temporary.
And it's all by state statute.
Yes, it's all in state statute. And then what happens is he goes to legal and says, hey, I have these documents, legal reviews, and says, yes, they're temporary. So I'll write you the resolution and bring it before the Board of Commissioners. Okay. So it's not actual personnel records. It might be his notes on personnel matters.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
You bet. Thank you for asking. Steve? Sorry, your button's not on. Just, nope.
Just push the button.
There you
That's
go.
all.
Okay, Steve Anderson, I'm a Kootenai County resident and also a user of the airport out here. And I hope I didn't see you folks wince as I got up here. Today I'm speaking on my own behalf. I know we've had some somewhat adversarial comments coming from me in the past and some differences of opinion over action items or things that the association felt very strongly about. Today I have some prepared remarks that I hope are neutral, but I hope are beneficial in terms of your future consideration of actions that you take related to the airport. So I'm going to read part of these. I'm going to try to not just look at the paper and do it, but I will hand these out to you after I get done too, so
Thank you.
that you can get a full summary of what I'm saying.
Sure.
The Coeur d'Alene Airport has an airport operating certificate issued by the FAA pursuant to 14 CFR 139. Because there are major financial considerations associated with maintaining the AOC, it seems only prudent that the county review the relative costs and benefits of continuing it from time to time. When the FAA is allowed to dictate specifications for equipment, buildings, airport security, runways, taxiways, and operational limitations, local government loses some ability to match budgets and actual conditions and needs. In the next 6 years, capital improvement projects in the amount of $24.2 million are planned at the Coeur d'Alene Airport. Whether or not these improvements are in the best interest of the current airport stakeholders or are simply a requirement of Part 139 compliance is unknown at this time. FAA requirements for buildings, equipment, runway improvements, etc. may well exceed the needs of current airport stakeholders. However, the associated costs will be at least partially funded by the local community. Further, even though the FAA may pick up some of the costs of compliance through grants, maintaining a free infrastructure will be a cost borne locally after the initial systems are put in place. Grants and free money usually come with strings attached. This was graphically illustrated during the body's recent public hearings regarding availability of $32 million from the American Rescue Fund. The AOC gives the FAA authority to conduct certification inspections, such as the one conducted earlier this month, where a deficiency was noted. In addition to having the right to inspect at any time, the FAA can impose administrative actions or financial penalties for each day a certified airport is found to be in violation. Part 139 certification is intended to ensure the safety of commercial passengers at airports providing service for certain scheduled and unscheduled airlines. An airport intending to provide service as defined under Part 139 would be required to apply for this certification. The Coeur d'Alene Airport has attempted to provide commercial passenger service 3 times in the past 44 years. First with Gem State in the late 70s, followed by Mountain West, and finally by Empire. None of these attempts at commercial service lasted more than 2 years due to competition from Spokane International Airport. Competition from established operations at Spokane International Airport, less than 40 miles and 1 hour away from KCOE, has only increased since 1995 when the last attempt at commercial airline service was terminated. With 21 daily flights to Seattle, many nonstop domestic flights throughout the country, and 9,000 parking spaces for passengers, Spokane would seem to have a lock on the regional market well into the future. There has been no need for Coeur d'Alene to maintain a Part 139 certificate since June of 1995 when Empire terminated commercial passenger service at the airport. Fortunately, Part 139.109 allows the AOC holders to voluntarily surrender them and to terminate future Part 139 obligations at any time. However, and this is a note that may be holding us back, depending on language and conditions included in prior FAA grants, a careful examination of repayment penalties, if any, would be prudent prior to surrendering the certificate. It is worth mentioning that Part 139 certification is not required in order to secure airport improvement grants or to operate an FAA control tower at the airport, if such are desired in the future. I submit that it is time for the Board of County Commissioners to commission an independent cost-benefit analysis of maintaining or terminating the Part 139 AOC. Because of the potential for conflict of interest, and I've been getting along with Stephen better lately, I still recommend that the airport director be involved only to the extent of providing data that the study be overseen by a commissioner not associated with the airport. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. And he's going to pass out what he read from. So, thank you. Do you have one for Tina as well? One for the clerk as well? Okay. Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Mr.
thank you for-
Jankowski, did you want to speak today?
You want to speak?
Planned, but since you're inviting me to talk, I've got, 3 minutes? I just want to say that it is a great pleasure of mine to see all the homeschoolers here. My wife and I homeschooled our children 13 years ago. We graduated the last one through high school, and it was through ICHE. And they are now 30 and 33 and productive citizens with homes and jobs, and it's just great to see homeschoolers. Thank you.
It's fine.
Thank you, Mike. Anyone else? Yeah,
Wendy?
please.
Since I'm here, I was under the impression that we would start this meeting with invocation, and I did not hear that or see that happen. There are some good reasons why we would want to add prayer to the meeting. I did come to a public hearing with almost 400 citizens of Kootenai County, and it was in this room. There was a lot of charged emotions, and I feel like a prayer to open the meeting just invites God's peace. It causes us to pause and humble ourselves and really rely on God's wisdom. So I think it would go a long way toward bringing unity to the community, and that every meeting should be started with prayer.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you for
Thanks.
that.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else? Do any of our students wish to speak? No? Okay. Stephen, anyone on? Okay. Jonathan, forgive me. Anyway, 2:32, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Thank
Thanks
you,
for
kids.
coming.